dog.
I really should put the countdown back on.
Probably. It's a little disorienting. Hello.
Oh, you're going to do it? You do it.
No, certainly not. Certainly not.
You do it this time. It's been a while.
I can't do it. It's all up to you.
Okay. Well, Jesse, thank you so much for coming back on the show. It's been a while.
Thanks for having me.
The 60s, this is episode 68 of Your Mother Ate My Dog, the podcast. I feel like we were doing so well, going through the 50s, and then the 60s have taken months to do.
Yeah, we've been taking our sweet time, but we're still trucking on. We're here again. It's all good, brother.
Interesting. Episode 68. We watched a movie that I had never heard of before. That was very surprising to me in numerous ways. Starring three, pretty big stars at the time.
Oh, yes, certainly.
Perhaps of all time. To Wong Fu, thanks for everything! ! Julie Newmar. Do you know who Julie Newmar is?
I didn't know who she was before this, but I know that she's an actress of old.
She was in it briefly.
She was right at the very end.
But before we get into it, what is new with you?
What is new with me? You know what? Honestly, not a terrible amount of things are new with me. I heard so last week you weren't here. You said you were like off the island or something. What were you doing? Traveling?
Yeah, traveling. We went to Squamish, British Columbia.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
You ever been to Squamish?
I have not been to Squamish, but who knows? I might message you a day later and tell you, oh yes, I actually have. But as far as I know at this very moment, I don't think I have.
Have you been to Whistler?
No, I've never been to Whistler.
Then you've never been to Squamish.
The two go hand in hand. You can't go to one without going to the other.
Well, you can't go to Whistler without going through Squamish. So
I see. Well, that makes perfect sense then.
I watched the Barbie movie again.
Pretty good one.
Yeah. Are you watching the new season of Survivor?
No, I am not.
Well, that started. Oh,
that's fun.
Cast is not all that great so far. Episode 1, bunch of duds.
Yeah, but though sometimes it starts a little slow, and then you find the ones with the personalities. Where are they this year? Season,
They're
I guess.
Always in Fiji.
Oh, Fiji.
Always in Fiji. They've been to Fiji for like 20 seasons now.
In a row.
Yeah, they have like a whole base set up. Like they have a pretty good situation in Fiji, so it's just always in Fiji.
Actually, that reminds me, when I was in Fiji, although very brief, I saw somebody wearing a Survivor like bandana. And I assumed that they maybe, work on the show or something. Or maybe it's just since it's so popular there that sometimes they just wear the bandanas. I don't know.
I'm sure Survivor is pretty big for their economy.
Yes, I would have to imagine.
But they're off on like some remote island. They can only get to by like helicopter.
Oh.
And boat, I suppose. But
right.
We're also watching the new season of Love is Blind.
I love that show. Certainly never heard of that one.
Bunch of duds as well. Would not recommend. This is season 5, so.
Good Lord, 5 whole seasons. I ain't never heard of it.
You've never heard? Well,
no.
You don't go on Netflix that often, I guess?
No, certainly not. I watched no, actually, no, I told you about that. Just watched the season finale of Ahsoka. That show was pretty solid.
Ahsoka, I hardly know her.
Yeah, good one.
Oh,
it was a bit rough. Yeah, so that one was all right. But I haven't really been watching too much.
Well, it's October now, so it's spooky season. So it's time to get in on the Halloween movies. I'm not going, so it's to get ahead of ourselves a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 69, it's the next
Yeah.
movie. It will not be a spooky movie. We'll get into it closer to Halloween probably, but it's also just going to be like a regular movie. I'm not going to be I'm going to be an adult about it. Just
Okay.
pick a regular movie. So just a heads up.
Okay. I won't get my hopes up too high. We're not going to like watch pornography or something like that, is what you're telling me.
Well, it's no. There. I mean, I assume there's no nudity, but you never know.
Right. Sometimes they just hit you with the random nudity. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
That's great.
Everything's good. I noticed that your car is nowhere to be seen, so I assume you got rid of it.
No, it's just parked somewhere else. Mackenzie owns it now, at least tentatively. So it's at her parents' house.
Like, it doesn't move? Like, does she drive it? Oh, she
No.
doesn't have a license.
Right. No, it gets driven occasionally to keep the batteries going and all that fun stuff. But beyond that, no, it kind of just sits. That's its life for now, anyway.
What do you mean she owns it?
Gave it to her.
But she can't drive it.
Right. Her license isn't currently renewed. She does have one, but it has since been expired. So I think the plan is to get that renewed and then learn on it to thus get a full license.
And you want her to learn on the Subaru, not the Escape.
Well, it's probably best, if that thing gets a little dinged up, it ain't no big deal,
So that tells me all I need to know about your confidence in her.
That was her idea.
All right. Oh, that's a great idea.
Thank you. Well, I guess I'll pass that along.
Maybe don't mention it.
Okay, I won't mention it.
Okay. Well, I guess this section. I mean, we've already been talking for 7.5 minutes.
Feels like a lifetime.
It all feels like it has. We haven't even said anything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what I meant. It feels like no time has passed whatsoever.
So, before we get into the movie,
mm-hmm.
It does have 3 pretty well-known actors as its lead. We saw John Leguizamo in Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
Bad movie.
Bad movie. Real bad.
Have you seen Carlito's Way?
I haven't. Oh, yes, I have actually watched that fairly recently.
Well, apparently he's in that as well, and
he is.
Was also not good.
Carlito's Way is good, but his character isn't very good.
Oh. We have Wesley Snipes, who we saw in Blade.
Right.
Yeah, he's a real big action star in the early to mid 90s.
He sure was.
And then we have Patrick Swayze, who's fresh off of, Ghost. And he was in that movie with Keanu Reeves where they rob a bank with the president's masks on.
Isn't it called Point Blank or something?
Yeah, Point Break.
Oh, that's it, I think. Yeah.
Now, Patrick Swayze is no longer with us.
Right.
But I do have some little-known facts about Patrick Swayze, if you'd like to hear some.
I'd love some little-known facts about Patrick Swayze.
To kind of get to know him before we dig into him playing this character, which may or may not have been kind of a drastic change for him.
Right.
He used to be in a Disney ice show. Was on skates.
Right.
He owned his own carpentry business.
Was this before he was an actor?
Yep. Before his career took off, him and his wife opened a carpentry business.
That's also a fun little known fact.
He turned down.
Sorry, Moose is...
Wouldn't be an episode.
Yeah, well, it just wouldn't. So good reason to be back just for that. I think he's done. Oh. No, that's spoke too soon. Hey, Moose. It's really nice, buddy. Okay, hopefully that's the end of it.
He turned down an idea for his own cologne. He was against making his own cologne. He was also offered a lot of money to make exercise videos.
Oh, he's a pretty fit guy.
Yeah, and he almost didn't even get his role in Ghost.
Well, that just would have ruined the whole movie.
For some reason. So there were, again, before we get into the movie, there were a lot of actors that were considered for the role that Patrick Swayze played. Vida. Was it Vida Boheme?
Mm-hmm.
Vida Boheme. Robert Downey Jr. William Baldwin, Alex's brother.
Right.
Gary Oldman.
Oh.
Matthew Broderick. John Cusack. Mel Gibson. Willem Dafoe was even considered.
Oh, I would have liked to have seen that.
I feel like Johnny Depp is up for all these roles that that come up, but Johnny Depp,
everyone wants
Cruise, and Robin Williams as well. However, Robin Williams is in the movie briefly,
and Mel Gibson is mentioned.
Mel Gibson is mentioned, yeah. Which, looking back, is like, ooh, yikes.
Right. Yes.
Okay. To Wong Fu, thanks for everything. Julie Newmar. What a title.
It's a mouthful.
What a film. What were your first impressions?
Also, I'd quickly like to point out that RuPaul was in this. He was also in But I'm a Cheerleader.
Yeah, two movies that you've picked that have to do with... I don't know the right word for it. But yeah, RuPaul, briefly in this one, great performance. Less of a role in this one than in
yes,
the cheerleader one. But
a great drag name though. I haven't seen anything quite like that. It was quite funny. So yeah, I guess speaking of funny, this movie was quite funny. I found. Did you find that?
Yes, I would say that I was pleasantly surprised by the humor in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know anything about this movie at all. My partner suggested it. I looked into it. It looked like it would be pretty entertaining, and it did not disappoint. It was quite funny, and just kind of like an enjoyable time the whole thing through. I don't know. It's always fun seeing. I've mentioned this before. I love seeing actors sort of step out of their wheelhouse, and I just find most of the time it works. I think here it did for sure.
This movie came out in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
So Wesley Snipes taking a risk like this was incredible.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze taking a risk like this, amazing. John Leguizamo, whatever. But both John Leguizamo and Patrick Swayze got nominated for, I think it was Golden Globes for their role.
Oh.
I find that. But it was, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 45%. IMDb gave it a 6.7 out of 10.
Right.
But it did get some love on award season.
I think as it should.
Well, the actors, anyways.
Right. Yeah. as it should. It was quite well done. I did. What was I going to say? I don't know. We'll come back to it. Do you have the awards it was nominated for? Or?
It was Best Actor for Swayze and Best Supporting Actor for John Leguizamo.
Mm-hmm.
Best Actor went to John Travolta for Get Shorty.
Okay.
Best Supporting Actor went to Brad Pitt for 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, that's a pretty damn good movie.
Okay.
So well deserved. So. Brad Pitt, if you want to come on the show, and I can tell you that to your face if you like. Well, it wouldn't be to your face.
Speaking of John Travolta, have you ever seen Grease?
Yes.
Stockard Channing is in this movie.
She is. Yes, I did notice that. I was like, that's the lady from Grease. It actually took me a little while to remember where she was from. But then I got it.
Another actor that was nominated for Best Actor that year, Sean Penn. His brother Chris Penn in the movie.
Yes, he is.
Playing that classic bad guy role.
Right, the problematic bad guy role. Yeah, you love it.
He's also dead now.
He is. He is indeed. The curse of the Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. Everyone knows it. You're in it and you got a chance of dying, I suppose.
Probably like any movie.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe not so well known.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah.
One thing I will say is it was nice. Part of what I liked about it was John Leguizamo. I think just being able to redeem himself, I guess, just in the context of our podcast, because the first one we saw him in, it was terrible, and I think that might have been the first movie I've seen him in. It left a pretty bad taste in my mouth, but I think he turned it all around. It was quite a fun performance in this one, which I liked quite a bit. So that was fun. That added to my enjoyment of the film overall.
He was a big improviser, apparently, on set.
It's definitely
stuff improvised.
Definitely seems like the type of film you could get away with some improvisation for sure. So that makes sense.
Gary Oldman, he turned down the role of. I think originally he was. They're like, you should be Vita, and it took so long for all the makeup and stuff, and he had just done Dracula,
right?
And so he was like, yeah, no thank you.
Right. I've heard that can be pretty grueling for the actors, especially with the amount of makeup he had in that film, which was it was quite a lot. Probably a little sick of it.
How did you like the story?
This story was pretty loose, I guess. Like there wasn't really all that much conflict or things that really happened, I suppose. But I don't know, it was a bit of a bait and switch too in some ways, because you think, oh, they're going to Hollywood, that's what, we're going to see all the shenanigans they get up to on the way there, but they don't really make it there until the very bitter end, and it's more on this tiny little town. So I guess not a ton happens, but I don't know. It serves its purpose well enough. It's more of a comedy, I guess, than anything, I would say. I don't know.
Which is crazy because you hate comedies.
I do tend to. Yeah, this one was very good. I was pleased to see that it was written by a gay man, and I think it was directed by a woman. Yeah, which I love to see. And a
British woman.
A British woman to add to all that. And gave off like but I'm a cheerleader vibes in some ways. It gives off most of all. Have you seen Priscilla, Queen of the Desert? Or is that a film we watched for the podcast? I can't remember.
It was not.
Oh, okay. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. It's like this. It's like almost the exact same. Not almost the exact same, but it's pretty damn similar. Hugo Weaving is in it, and oh gosh, the guy from Memento, he's in it.
Oh, yes, the guy from Memento. Ralph? Is he a fiend? Uh,
No.
he's not Voldemort.
No.
Let's Google it. Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce.
That's the one. So they both play drag queens, and it's like a road movie, which this one I guess qualifies for as well. Same vibes. It's pretty good. They're both pretty over the top, quite a lot of fun, and personally, I'm a fan of drag culture, and I think this was no exception to that.
Name one drag queen that's not RuPaul.
Well, I mean, there's a local one. Well, I haven't seen her in a very long time. Electra Socket, who I really like. But I mean, yes, I'm a fan of the drag scene, I would say, but I'm not like a huge follower at all times. Like, I don't watch the RuPaul's Drag Race at all. I mean, I know I'd probably like it. I just haven't gotten into it.
It's on Crave. Victoria's own Jimbo just won a season.
Right, I did hear that.
I think like 5 minutes into maybe even less than 5 minutes in, you can kind of tell what kind of movie this is going to be. Mm-hmm. So the story kind of took a backseat. Like, it didn't really matter what they did. Like, I'm not going to judge the plot points too hard, because that's not what this movie is. It's just a fun. I mean, Patrick Swayze fought a guy in full drag. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he did he did a great job. I thought definitely the highlight. Roadhouse. Yep.
And I mean, it was a kind of a positive film.
Yeah.
So no issues with it, and I think my score will reflect that, even though maybe this film wasn't as good as, some of the other ones that we've seen that I might rate lower than this one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it did its job.
Totally. Yeah, definitely. That's a good way of putting it. It was definitely had like a good message overall, especially at the end. We're all like this sort of middle of nowhere town, full of probably some pretty close-minded people. They sort of turn right around, and they're pretty accepting by the end. And there's only a couple people who aren't. But yeah, I guess overall quite positive. Just kind of fun. I liked it for that reason.
It's wild seeing Robin Williams in like one scene, and then that's it.
It was kind of reminded. Have you seen The Birdcage?
No.
Oh, that's a really good movie too. Also sort of a similar vibe. But yeah, he was almost, that's kind of similar to what his character was like in The Birdcage, honestly. Just that quite over the top. And I was kind of like, yeah, I guess this type of film lends itself to being over the top, but it working. Sometimes some films are over the top and it's like a little much, but I think it worked for this one.
Yes. And again, it's 1995. People can make this movie now, no problem, but in 95, that's such a risk. And having such big actors doing it, crazy.
Yeah, the Birdcage came out a year after that. Priscilla. Let me find out when Priscilla came out. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Queen. 1994. So 94, Ooh. 95, 96. I guess they're brewing some stuff up those years, I guess. Things were happening.
Yeah. Great. Anything else?
I don't know. The music was a lot of fun. I like that a lot. Lots of sassiness. I like me some sass.
Yeah, tons of sass.
Tons of sass, just sort of overflowing with sass. And it was fun seeing all the people that I recognized. I don't know. It's kind of like when it's a movie you never heard of, and then you just go in with no expectations of who's in it or what it's about, and then you just see like a million people that you recognize. Like the lady, the older woman, Clara, she's Ray Finkel's mom in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. I don't know. It's just kind of like a fun game. Like, oh, what's she from? It's like, oh yeah.
Do you remember Tommy? Like he's like I think the main guy who was fighting, who wanted to fight with the three of them.
Oh right, yes.
He plays the dad in 1 Hour Photo, starring Robin Williams.
Whoa.
Another
So true.
podcast movie.
It is, and it all just connects. It's the focal point of our podcast. Everyone in this movie has been in another one of the movies we've seen. You heard it here first. Don't look into that.
Another movie like this is Footloose. Footloose has Kevin Bacon in it, and famously the 6 degrees of separation to Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like 68 episodes in, 68 movies, we have so many of those. It's ridiculous.
But no movies with Kevin Bacon. I don't think.
Hard to say.
It is a little hard to say. I've seen a lot of movies.
Next week's movie does not have Kevin Bacon in it either. So,
well, we won't have to worry about that thing happening then, I guess. One of these times it'll happen.
We still haven't seen a movie with Willem Dafoe either.
This is not true. We saw that movie where like he's a motel owner. What the hell was that movie called? Or did we watch that for the podcast? I don't remember. I'm sure we did.
I don't think we saw a movie with Willem Dafoe as a hotel owner.
A motel owner. I'm sure we did.
Are you talking about like the Florida Project?
Yeah.
No.
We didn't do that for the podcast.
We did not see that for the podcast, no.
Oh. That's awkward.
Do you have another podcast?
Well, no. No, certainly not. Okay, well, you watch so many movies, it all blends together. I mean, what can I say?
You can say what you liked about the acting.
Oh, I'd be happy to do that. I thought the acting was quite good, quite showing off the comedic chops that these guys, especially the main three, possess. I thought they were all quite funny, and they just they really dove into their roles. Didn't hold anything back, which was nice to see. I just kind of like really well done, and even some of the side characters were well acted. I thought definitely a highlight of the film. I think I'd give acting an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10 for Jesse. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Many of the same reasons. I think like the main three were pretty good considering the side characters, side actors was like they were okay. Nobody really stood out. Like the sheriff, he was fine.
Yeah.
So I give it a 7. 7 out of 10. And like Bobby Ray, Bobby Lee, what's going on there?
Yeah.
7.
That's fair. I like that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Ending.
Right.
Where does ending even begin, you think?
I don't know. I think when they're all dancing in the red outfits, or like
You don't think it's like the sheriff shows up?
yeah. That's what I was about to say. I think when the sheriff shows up, from there onward, that's the ending.
Okay, what did I give the ending? The ending. Second one. Oh, okay. I gave ending a 5 out of 10.
Okay, well, what didn't you like about it?
Let me try to remember what I didn't like about it. I think maybe it was just, if I can remember, it was just too. Was it anticlimactic? It was like
Fair, a
it
little
was
bit, yeah.
too wrapped. But then I said earlier that story doesn't really matter. But at the time when I watched it, I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Okay,
It was okay. Um, they won
right.
the Drag Queen of the Year, so Chi Chi won,
Chi
which
won.
is like, I mean, I guess that's good because they kind of set her up for that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know, 5 out of 10 for reasons that will become clear if you watch the film.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. It was a little anticlimactic, I suppose. I think the main conflict, the sheriff showing up, didn't it kind of just fizzled out. He was just kind of like shooed away, I suppose. And yeah, I guess the ending was just kind of like everyone's happy now, and we'll get a 1 minute clip from Hollywood where they're meaning to go, and that was about it. So I think, yeah, that does make sense for your low score. Oh, I didn't go quite as low. I'd go a 6 out of 10. I mean, you're like we were saying, the plot isn't really all that important, but yeah, not like nothing that wowed me. 6 out of 10.
Okay, and what would you give it out of 10 overall?
Quite enjoy this one. Quite funny. I don't usually do comedies. This one kind of delivered. Patrick Swayze's performance was excellent. One of my favorites, I think, from our whole podcast tenure. Really well done. And yeah, just a fun one. I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
It's a great score. Yeah, I mean, solid acting from, like, these guys had to put on drag every day for however long, so,
Mm-hmm.
and then act in it, and they did pretty well. Um, it was a fun movie to watch. No problems with it, maybe except for the ending. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5. Um, Solid movie. I mean, a 6.5 for this one versus, like, a 6.5 for The Man Who Wasn't There. I would much rather watch Tu Wong Fu again than The Man Who Wasn't There.
Right.
Just a different movie, more fun. Enjoyed it, funny, happy.
I'll, def-
6.5.
I'll definitely remember it more than The Man Who Wasn't There. I mean, I barely remember that movie, to be
It was
honest
in
with you.
black and white.
Right. Remember that. And it had Billy Bob Thornton in it. That I can confirm. But it definitely doesn't have much sticking power beyond that.
Right. Okay, that's the movie. Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything. Julie Newmar. Again, wild title. Um, who's Wong Fu? Great question. Doesn't matter. How
I've
am I
done
going to fit that on the Instagram thing? But that's fine.
I've done something horrible. I've done something just I can't believe I've done it. I was curious about what score I gave um The Man Who Wasn't There. Gave it a 5 apparently. Sounds about right. Cuz you sent me a link to this little spreadsheet that we use for all our scores. And
Yep.
I've just gone ahead and seen the movie we're doing next week.
Well, that's fine because I'm about to say it out loud.
So you got Ryan Gosling on the mind is what I'm seeing.
So I've been wanting to do a Ryan Gosling movie for a little bit. I feel like maybe Ryan Gosling is the new Nick Cage here for the podcast. But he's in like early 2010s. He's in a lot of bangers.
Mm-hmm.
Drive is one of them. Other ones. The Place Beyond the Pines, 2012. Have you seen that one?
I have seen it, but I saw it like when it came out. I don't remember a ton about it. He rides a motorcycle. I can tell you that.
So I'm in the same boat. Like I saw it a long time ago. I know Ryan Gosling's in it, and I know eventually Bradley Cooper's in it. But I don't remember I remember liking it at the time, but I don't remember why. And I think now as an adult, we can piece that together.
11 years later. I think
It's
that's a
on
good idea.
Netflix.
Even
So
better.
that's a sticking point there. At least I think it is. Let's
Yeah.
look it up. Yeah, Place Beyond the Pines. I don't even know what I got on. It's like a good movie.
Yeah,
Apparently, it's not bad.
it's well regarded, I think. I do remember enjoying it, but yeah, I couldn't tell you much about it.
Great. Then Place Beyond the Pines. When I put that in to the Google Sheet, um, pretty much when we started the podcast, and I'm like, oh, there's no way he'll look at it.
Mm-hmm. I don't
That's
normally.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world or anything. I did have noticed, just to do a whole big old 180 on this bad boy. Drove past Pick a Flick the other day, a couple days
Mhm.
ago. Completely closed. Everything is gone.
Well, hopefully they sold all their stuff.
They actually did. There's a video store in it's kind of like downtown, but you like in behind downtown. I don't know how to explain it. Fairfield area. Let's say that.
Yeah. It's like starts with an O, doesn't it?
Sounds about right. I think I saw an ad from them on Marketplace saying that they had purchased all of Pick a Flick's stock, or what was remaining of it. So I think maybe that's where it's gone.
Because I delivered mail there once or twice. Yeah, Oswego video.
That sounds right. Yeah,
But it's like it's like a tiny
it's like a
tiny
corner store.
store. It's a
Yeah,
corner store. They sell like ice cream and
yeah, yeah,
I guess I mean they're called Oswego video. So
yeah.
but it was never whenever I delivered mail, like there's never anybody in it. The guy was just sitting there watching TV. So,
Mm-hmm.
like here's your Shaw bill.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. I've just it's. I mean, I guess it's interesting to know where all that stock went, because I went in there when he was selling stuff. For like the second week or something. Looked around for a good long while, didn't find anything I've really desired to own. So, but he had tons of stuff left. So, yeah, completely gone now. Purchased a pin from them maybe 6 months ago, so I have that to remember them by.
Sad.
Yes. No longer will be able to rent movies for the podcast. I did what I could.
Well, you have to go down to Oswego video on Beckley Avenue in Fairfield, right across from the school.
Yes, right across from the school. Mm-hmm.
Don't visit the school though; they don't like that.
No, they die. Yeah, I don't recommend that one.
How smart are you feeling right now?
Pretty smart. If you're insinuating a box office game, I feel ready. Or are you thinking something else? We could do that too.
What What were you doing when you were 4 months old around Halloween?
Well, I was being dressed up as who knows what. I'm sure I was a little baby something. Just living my damn life.
Were you watching any movies?
Subconsciously, probably.
This week, the box office game comes to you from October 30th, 1992.
Great. That's a good
Hey,
year.
we've done the 80s. We just did a 95, a movie from 95.
I remember the last time we did this game, we killed it.
Hmm. We did like a speed run of it and got like 3 out of 5, I think.
I don't know. I just remember getting some. No. I'm thinking of the week we did it, and Zathura was one of the movies.
I think that was last time, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's sure. That sounds
Who
right.
knows? Who knows? Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
This is a Walt Disney film,
Wait, sorry. October what? Sorry.
October 30th. So it's
Okay.
like the
After
weekend
Halloween.
of, well, before Halloween.
Oh, right. That's on the 31st. I was thinking.
Halloween is the 31st. Halloween
Yes.
coming up. Coming up
Okay.
this year, 31st. Every year it's the same day. It made 30 million over 5 weeks. It's a
Oh.
Walt Disney film. Do you want actor first, or do you want to see if it's an animated film?
It's probably not animated if it only made that much. But maybe. I don't know. Go ahead. Give me the genre. Sure.
Comedy, family, sport.
Okay. So it's probably an Air Bud movie.
You know what's funny? Air Bud was the very first film that came to my mind as well, but I think Air Bud is late. I think Air Bud was like later in the 90s.
Probably.
And I don't think it was a Disney film.
Air Bud's definitely a Disney movie.
Is Free Willy a Disney movie?
Yes, but I don't know. Is that a sport movie?
Well, they're in an aquarium. They have
Okay.
dolphin.
It's got Elijah Wood in it.
Oh, okay. So I just did the actor.
Mm-hmm.
The actor gave it away.
Who's the actor?
Emilio Estevez.
It's not giving it away for me. Who is it? What is it?
It's a hockey film about Mighty Ducks.
Oh, the Mighty Ducks. Okay.
I believe 92 would have been the first one.
Yeah.
Right? Or is that...
No, D2 would have been like 94 or whatever.
Right. The Mighty Ducks. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We are correct. It is the Mighty Ducks.
Nice one.
1 for 1. Okay. This is a 20th Century Fox film.
Mm-hmm.
54 million over 6 weeks.
Okay.
October 30th, 1992.
Mm-hmm.
It's an action, adventure, drama, history, romance, war film.
Good Lord. Okay. Now, if you tell me the actor.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, okay. So that's definitely... Oh, I've seen this movie.
Is it Lincoln?
No. It's called... In the Name of the Father, I think.
In the Name...
No.
There is a film called In the Name of the Father.
I know, but that didn't come out in that. Delete that. It's Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that too. If I have to, you are correct. It is The Last of the Mohicans.
Yes.
2 for 2. We're on a world record pace.
Mm-hmm.
The third film is a TriStar picture.
Okay.
TriStar. I can picture the weird horse thing coming at me.
Mm-hmm.
15 million over 3 weeks. It's a drama, horror, thriller film.
Okay.
I don't know if this will help, but Virginia Madsen is the actor.
Virginia Madsen. 1992.
Do you know who Virginia Madsen is?
No.
The second actor is Tony Todd.
Tony Todd. 1992. Boy, oh boy. This I don't think this is a good. Who's the third actor? Or someone else we're not going to know.
Okay, I didn't do the third actor.
Okay.
Tony Todd's name sounds very familiar to me.
Yeah.
This is a movie that we saw on the podcast. The tagline, though, is "We dare you to say his name 5 times."
5 times.
Yeah. So we're in What was the movie? We watched the remake on the podcast.
You
We
thinking
saw the
Candyman?
Candyman. Yeah, it's Candyman.
I thought you had to say his name 3 times.
And that's Beetlejuice.
Okay, well, do Candyman then.
It is Candyman.
Well, that's great.
The first one.
I can see the VHS of Candyman from my field of vision in my little cabinet.
Because like Tony Todd, I'm like, isn't that the guy from Candyman? But I wasn't too sure.
Well, that's a great get. Nicely done.
Xander Berkeley, the third actor, in case you're wondering.
Yes, that would have given it away.
This one might be difficult. A Columbia Pictures. It's made only $7 million over 4 weeks.
Oh, God.
It's a family drama.
Okay, starring who?
Craig Sheffer.
Oh, gosh. Craig Sheffer.
But second actor, friend of the podcast, Brad Pitt.
Oh. Family drama with Brad Pitt from 1992. Gosh. Who's the third actor?
Tom Skerritt.
Okay, so we have to go on Brad Pitt from 1992. Pretty young Brad Pitt.
This is before or after Thelma and Louise?
Probably a little after, right? Yeah.
The tagline is "The Story of an American Family." So that helps.
That's a toughie. Maybe let's come back to it.
Okay. And then the last one is a Warner Brothers film that's made $51 million over 4 weeks.
Okay.
It's an action thriller.
Action thriller from Warner Brothers. 51 million. That's quite a bit.
Would it surprise you if I said it stars Steven Seagal?
Oh, Jesus. I can't say that I'm very well versed in his filmography. Breaking
he's got
Point.
some Tommy Lee Jones is the second actor.
Jesus, they were in a movie together. I don't know any. I think Breaking Point. I'm not even sure that's a movie by him, but that's the only one I can think of.
He's in I don't want to look it up, but he has a famous one. People always talk about. Third actor is Gary Busey. Oh, that's a trio.
That's quite the trio.
Okay, here's the tagline. In 1992, the present day, a battleship's been sabotaged by nuclear pirates out to steal its warheads. Now, surrounded by terrorists, a lone man stands with a deadly plan of attack.
Yeah. Jeez, I have no idea. I was thinking of... Yeah, I don't
know. It's his famous movie, Under Siege.
I haven't heard of it. Can't be that famous, huh, Steven? Yeah. Suck on that, buddy.
I also gave up on the American Family one. It's A River Runs Through It. River Runs Through It.
I have heard of that one. I wouldn't have gotten there, but... Okay, well, 3 of 5.
Robert Redford. Yeah, and they were the hardest 3. I start from the bottom.
There you go.
Candyman, Last of the Mohicans, and The Mighty Ducks.
What a trio of movies. I don't think I've seen, at least consciously, the Mighty Ducks movie.
You're probably past it now, age-wise.
Right. Probably wouldn't be such a good watch.
Maybe if you have children, you can wait till they're 10.
Yeah. Dust off an oldie and show them a movie from my day.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 good movies.
Yes,
Under
sir.
Siege, that's like his. Is that like his famous one?
Jeez, I have no idea. What are you gonna do? Search Steven Seagal famous movie?
Well, no, but if you look up movies, yeah, Under Siege is first, and then it's Above the Law, and then it's Hard to Kill, and then it's Marked for Death, and then it's Under Siege 2. So,
Right.
maybe we should have watched this for the podcast. 79% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, but you can't trust them.
Gary Busey's name in the film is Commander Krill.
That's a pretty cool name.
Steven Seagal's name is Casey Ryback.
It's just a manly man movie about badass men. Sounds like to me. Yeah.
And then he fell off. Sad. Okay, well, A Place Beyond the Pines. Looking forward to dusting off that old DVD and giving it a go. Do you have any Thanksgiving plans?
Yeah, dinner at my parents, and then I think dinner at Mackenzie's parents as well the day after.
The same night. Oh,
Yeah, the same night. And I'm gonna be like that scene from Mrs. Doubtfire, where Robin Williams has to like sit down with that boss from that TV show and then run back as Mrs. Doubtfire to his family. But I'm gonna do that with 2 different families and 2 different houses.
wow. Unnecessary.
Well, that's me, I guess.
I heard you're thinking about quitting your job.
Who told you that?
Well, that's what I hear.
Oh, well. You hear crazy things out there.
Started trying to stir the pot to whoever got this far.
Yeah, you're really stirring things up. Hi, kitty.
So I hear that that masks are not mandatory in hospitals. Are you back to wearing a mask, or is that just if you're in front of patients?
I think from what I understand, it's just like in the clinical parts of the hospital. So like down in the warehouse, we don't have to wear one. But if you were to go up into the hospital and like take an order or something, then you would.
Right. Fun.
Yeah.
Fun times. Okay, we get it. We're wrapping up. You said it's time for bed.
Well, I mean, I couldn't agree more.
Okay, well, another classic episode. Looking forward to discussing this again in a few months when we do our year-end in review, or year in review at the end of the year. Tu Hong Fu will remember it much better than we'll remember the man who wasn't there, the man with no name, or whatever the film is called.
That one, yep.
And yeah, 69. No big deal. 70, that's the big one. So make sure you have a movie picked out for episode 70. Doesn't have to be spooky. But that's probably where I'll be going for 71, just so you know. Just so you and the audience knows. Spooky season is here.
Yeah. For 70, I do have one picked out, and it's somewhere we haven't been before. So
Space?
Yes, the final frontier, as they say.
We have seen a space movie. It was called Moon.
Unfortunately, we did see that one.
Not bad, not bad.
Hated it.
Well, I mean, we've had an animated movie. Have we had a foreign film?
Yes, we watched Old Boy.
Oh, right.
And Rashomon.
Yeah. Was there something else? We had a French one too.
We also watched that movie that was like a Snowpiercer, which is like kind of half a foreign film, right? Sort of.
Yeah, Snowpiercer. There was also the film where like she went back in time or something. Did that happen this year?
She went back in time?
Yeah, remember? Was that even? It might not even have been this year.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, brother.
Now I have to look it up. Bring up the Google Sheets again. Remember?
No, you saying remember isn't helping me.
It's not Spice World. Oh, Run Lola Run.
Oh, yes. Okay.
That was a U film as well.
I don't remember picking that one, but a good one.
You sure did. You sure did.
I sure did.
Actually, maybe you didn't. I can't remember. But I feel like you did.
I probably did. Yeah, it does sound like a me thing.
Okay, so we've done animated, we've done foreign, we've done like Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
So very looking forward to what you mean by somewhere we haven't gone before.
There you go. That's how you reel them in. That's how you make good content, folks.
But still listen to episode 70, where we'll go to the dirt bike track
You got
with
me.
attended up Ryan Gosling, where he meets his future wife, Eva Mendes. So
He's married to Eva Mendes?
yes, and they have a few children as well.
That is crazy.
Ryan Gosling, Canadian.
He is Canadian.
Also in Barbie, which is just as good the second time.
Yeah, and Lars and the Real Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's getting up there for...
He's a contender.
One day I'll sit down and, see the actors, what actors we've seen the most.
Right. That'll be a whole thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening once again, to you and the audience. And we'll be back maybe next week, maybe not. Who knows?
Adios, y'all.